Hello, and welcome. Today, we are going further than the day-to-day headlines. We are delving into a conversation that is set to define the very fabric of our nation for a generation to come. This is about who we are as a country, who we welcome, and what future we are building here in the United Kingdom. This is a story of how the recent, impassioned debate on indefinite leave to remain could fundamentally reshape our entire immigration landscape.
I worked here for 20 years and I have no voice, and the resettlement scheme is not working. All right?
Have you been joining the protest today?
Yes, I have. Finally I have, because I need a voice. I worked and I gave this country my youth. I'm very grateful for what you taught me. But you must make me part of all this process.
Yeah.
I can't just be kicked out. I built things for you. I looked after your children. I looked after the elderly in this country. Now you kick me out with what?
Yeah.
With what? I am very, very hurt by what they've done to England, because I came here and I joined the working force, and I'm very proud of it. So I'm very angry at them for doing this country.
Don't go away, just come back. What have they said to you?
Nothing. They said my national insurance didn't correspond to the right thing, and now they're saying they have to start the whole process, but the 31st of October is fast approaching. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to stay? What are my rights? I'm in the dark, like many people have left London because they were in the dark.
For decades, the path to becoming a permanent resident in the UK has been a well-trodden, if demanding, one. For most, it was a 5-year journey of working, contributing, and putting down roots, with the ultimate goal of achieving indefinite leave to remain, or ILR. Think of ILR as the cornerstone of a settled life here. It grants the right to live, work, and study without time restrictions, and it is the crucial, non-negotiable stepping stone to becoming a British citizen. But now, that long-established pathway, a promise that has shaped countless lives, is at a historic crossroads. The catalyst for this seismic shift arrived in May of 2025. The government published a policy document, a white paper, with a title that left little to the imagination: Restoring Control over the Immigration System. This was a direct response to a period of record-high net migration figures and a growing, often fractious, public and political debate about the number of people coming to our shores. While net migration has seen a sharp fall in the last year, down to 431,000 in the year to December 2024, the political pressure to exert more control remains immense. Buried within the white paper's pages was a proposal that sent shockwaves through migrant communities, boardrooms, and hospital wards across the country. A plan to double the standard qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10. The government's argument is that settlement in the UK should be a privilege and not a right. They believe a longer route would reinforce the principle that individuals should earn their place through a sustained, decade-long contribution to the country. The reforms, they argue, are also designed to encourage employers to invest in and train British workers, reducing our reliance on overseas labour. Alongside this, the government has floated the idea of an earned settlement model, which could allow some individuals to qualify for permanent residency in less than 10 years based on their meaningful contributions to the UK's economy and society, though the precise details of how this would work remain worryingly vague. This proposal didn't just cause a stir, it sparked a powerful, grassroots movement. 2 parliamentary petitions gathered a combined total of more than 270,000 signatures, compelling Parliament to act. One petition passionately argued to keep the 5-year ILR pathway for the skilled workers who are already in the UK, the doctors, engineers, and tech pioneers who came here on the basis of a clear promise. The other urged the government to honour its commitment to Hong Kong British national, overseas, visa holders, for whom the 5-year route to settlement was a cornerstone of the UK's pledge of a lifeline away from oppression. And so, on the 8th of September, 2025, members of Parliament gathered in Westminster Hall for a debate that felt different. This wasn't just political theatre. For the hundreds of thousands watching online, it was about their future, their families, and the promises they had built their lives upon. The arguments laid out by MPs were powerful and painted a picture of profound uncertainty and anxiety. The central theme, repeated time and again, was one of fairness. As one MP so vividly put it, Changing the rules halfway through is like running a marathon and halfway through realizing the rules have changed. People have made life-altering decisions based on the 5-year route. Imagine selling your home in your country of origin, moving your children into British schools, and investing your life savings into a future here, all with the expectation of being able to settle after 5 years. Let's talk about the human cost. Consider a doctor from India who answered the call to join our National Health Service during the pandemic, or a software developer from Nigeria who chose London's tech scene over Berlin or Toronto. They came here under a clear set of rules. A 10-year route to settlement means a decade of living in a state of temporary residence, unable to fully plan a future, always with a background worry of visa renewals. Then there are the immense economic consequences. Skilled workers are already paying substantial visa fees and a hefty immigration health surcharge. The current health surcharge stands at £1,035 per person per year. A skilled worker visa for more than 3 years can cost over £1,500. For a family of 4, extending their visas over a 10-year period instead of 5 could mean facing additional costs running into tens of thousands of pounds. This is a financial burden that many simply could not bear, forcing them to abandon their lives here. Business leaders, through groups like the Confederation of British Industry, have repeatedly warned that making immigration more expensive and difficult harms the economy by preventing businesses from accessing critical skills. Furthermore, MPs warned that these changes could make the UK a far less attractive destination for global talent. We are in a global race for skills. Countries like Canada offer clearer and often faster pathways to permanent residency. At a time when our NHS is facing critical staff shortages, with the British Medical Association estimating a shortfall of 12,000 hospital doctors and over 50,000 nurses and midwives in England alone, can we really afford to deter the very people we need? The debate highlighted a real fear that doubling the wait for settlement would not only harm recruitment, but could also lead to an exodus of skilled professionals who feel the goalposts have been unfairly moved. The discussion also touched upon the very serious risk of exploitation. Tying a migrant to a specific sponsoring employer for a decade could create a dangerous power imbalance, potentially emboldening unscrupulous employers, a point raised with grave concern during the debate. And what of our promise to the people of Hong Kong? The British national, overseas, visa was created as a direct response to the passing of the national security law in Hong Kong. It was presented to the world as a lifeline, a commitment to those whose freedoms were at risk. The 5-year path to settlement was an explicit part of that promise. To change the terms now, as many MPs argued, would be a profound betrayal of trust, undermining our diplomatic standing on the world stage. The government, in response, has tried to offer some reassurance. The Minister for Border Security and Asylum stated that the government is listening and confirmed that a formal consultation will be held before any final decisions are made. For now, the 5-year route remains in place. However, the pointed refusal to confirm whether these changes would apply retrospectively has left a dark cloud of uncertainty hanging over hundreds of thousands of people. So, what does this all mean for the future of immigration in the United Kingdom? This debate is about more than just a number, more than 5 years or 10. It's a fundamental question about the kind of society we want to be. On one hand, there is a clear political and public desire to manage and control immigration. The government sees a longer settlement path as a tool to ensure that migration is sustainable and that those who stay have made a deep, long-term commitment to the UK. On the other hand, there is the powerful argument that a fair, predictable, and welcoming immigration system is one of our greatest national assets. It fuels our economy, enriches our culture, and staffs our vital public services. A system perceived as unfair, unstable, or untrustworthy could do lasting damage to our global reputation and our ability to attract the brightest and best from around the world. This isn't a simple binary choice. It's a complex balancing act with profound implications. The outcome of this debate, which will unfold in the coming months through consultations and policy announcements, will set the tone for UK immigration for a generation. It will determine whether we are seen as a nation that keeps its promises, a reliable partner for global talent, or a country that is prepared to change the rules mid-game. The lives of doctors in our hospitals, engineers building our future, and families who sought refuge and a new life on our shores hang in the balance. The story of what it means to become British is being rewritten, and the ink is far from dry.